And with that, welcome to this new video. Today I will explain to you what enums are, and if you don't know them yet, convince you to use them, and if you know them, to work more efficiently and effective with enums. Enums is short for enumeration and is a list of constant values. You can see I have an enum of the type enemies with multiple values like skeleton, zombie, ghost, or golem. In turn, Godot saves the values as integers, so the skeleton would be the number 0, zombie the number 1, ghost 2, and golem 3. But it is also possible to assign values directly to the values in the enum. For example, I can assign the value for the skeleton as number 1, for the zombie as number 5, so the ghost would be the number 10, and the golem the number 20. Imagine an enum as a dictionary where the values, so skeleton or zombie, would be the keys, and the integers the values. Enums are useful for the code readability because you have real words like skeleton or zombie and not just integers, which is not that readable in my opinion. And they are not that prone to errors like strings. And here I have an example where we use strings instead of enums and match which is our current enemy and do some stuff according to the current enemy. In this case, just print something out, but you have to imagine there is some real functions behind this. This function would just work fine, but there is a problem that we have strings, so we can just make a typo or mix something up and the code would not work anymore, and find these bugs is really annoying. To solve this issue really easily, you can use enums. And this works if you replace string with the name of your enum, in this case enemies, and then type out enemies dot the name of the value you would choose. For me, it's zombie. And here you do this if you also type out enemies dot the names of your values like skeleton, zombie, golem, or ghost. What you can see, you have with enum autocomplete, so Godot suggests what you would type, which saves you a lot of time. And you are also not prone to errors, like I said, so you cannot make any typos or mix something up. So if you type something wrong, Godot immediately marks it and you can fix the error. Additionally, there are anonymous enums, so enums where you do not have a, I would say, class name, like in our case, enemies, and you can instantly type out the value without the class name. That's possible, but if you do that, you miss something important for the export variables. For example, if I type export var, then current enemy, and delete the enemy down there, then I can type out our enemy enum value, and then on the right side there shows a drop down where I can choose from all the values I declared in the enemy's enum, which I find very useful. And that is not possible with the anonymous enums because you do not have this class name or declaration for an enum, which you need for the export variables. But if you do not need this, then maybe anonymous enums are the better choice because you do not have to type out every time enemies.skeleton. You just can type out skeleton, for example. I use enums in my project Ethereum most often with dictionaries, where I have the enemy value as a key and then the UID, for example, as a value. The UID is the path where you can load the scene. And then you can print out the UID from the current enemy, in this case a skeleton, or you instantiate it, or whatever you want to do with the UID. And with that, you don't have the UID everywhere in the code, you have it on a central place, and if it somehow changes, you have one place where you can change the UID, and you don't have to rely on the Ctrl F function and hope that Godot will replace everything correctly. So I have it on one place and can change the UID to whatever I want or to the new UID. What you maybe already noticed is that if you print out an enum, you just get the number because, like I said, Godot saves the enums as integers. You could leave it just like that, but there's a better way to print out the values of the enum. And because enums are just dictionaries, you can type out the name of the enum, .keys, which is a regular function of dictionaries, and then the value you want to have. In this case, the current enemy, which is the skeleton. And now you can see in the console that there's skeleton printed out and not the number, like if you just print out current enemy. So that's it with enums for today. I hope you could learn something new and you now know what enums are and how to use them. Leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss something new. Don't forget to wishlist Ethereum on Steam, and I will see you in the next video, short or live stream. Goodbye.